Okay, so let's get right into it. This is module number 3. So in module number 3, I'm going to show you how to create your targeting audience and who you're going to target your ad so that your ad is shown only to the highest potential home buyers are available. Okay, so I already showed you how to select your objectives. You're going to click on continue to go to the next section. So when you click on continue, this is going to be your targeting audience page. This is where you're going to target people. So right here at the very top, you can add a name for your targeting. You can add a name for the ad set. I typically leave this to the end because first I want to find out who I'm going to target, and then I'll add that on here. So the very first thing that you're actually going to do here is choose a Facebook business page that is going to be tied to the ad that you're creating, to the campaign that you're creating right now, right? So you should have already done this in the setup video, which is module number 1. You should have already created a Facebook business page that is only related to your real estate business, right? So all you got to do is select on this arrow and select that page that you want to use. If you only have one business page, then that's going to be the only one that's going to be shown here. If not, make sure you select the right one because you want to make sure that it's related to what you're going to be marketing, right? In this case, it's going to be digital open houses. So I'm just going to select this one that I have here for a client of mine. And the next thing that you're going to want to do is there's going to be a link right here just like this one, but instead of saying view terms, it's going to say accept terms. The very first time that you create an ad with this business page, with your business page, only the very first time you have to click on this ad, or else your ad is not going to get published and you won't be able to move forward on your marketing campaign. So make sure you click on the link. It's going to open up the terms and conditions. Scroll down, click on I accept. And then this is going to change. It's going to say view terms just like this one. Since I already accepted them, now it says view terms, and that's how you need it to be. Now every time that I create more ads, I don't need to accept the terms every single time because I already accepted the terms with this page. If you create a brand new page, then you have to accept the terms once again. But once you do that, which is very, very simple, takes just a couple minutes, probably a minute or two. The next thing that you want to do is scroll down. You're going to leave everything the same on dynamic creative. Make sure it's off. You're going to go down to audience and make sure that the tab is selected where it says create new audience, which is the default. But if for any reason you choose this one, make sure you do not choose this one. Make sure it's selected on create new audience, and then you're going to scroll down to let's see, I'm going to click this out to where it says location. So we are creating a digital open house campaign, which means that we're trying to send traffic to a house that is listed for sale. So the house that is listed for sale has a unique address. So we want to target people that live within a certain radius of that property. So that property is located right here. We want to target people that are around that property, right? So we want to make sure we come down here to where it says locations. We're going to click on edit, and by default it's going to be selected to United States. Now I do not want to show my property to the entire people in the United States because your budget is going to blow right away and you're not going to have very good results. You could potentially have somebody across the country who doesn't even want to live in your area. You're showing ads to potential people all over the country that would never even want to live here in wherever your listing is at, right? So what you want to do is come here and click on the X for the United States so we can remove that. And now it's asking us to add a location. But before that, we're going to come here where it says people living in or recently in this location. At the very beginning, once again, I already tested everything here. What I'm giving you is actually what I know that works. Later on, you can split test anything. So if you don't agree with me, I recommend that you just go along with me. You launch your campaign, and if it's getting you results, then that's fine. You can leave it as it is, but the next thing that you're going to want to do is split test different things. And this is one of the things that you can split test at the very beginning, right? But for now, just stick to what I'm actually telling you. Click on the down arrow and make sure you select this one where it says people living in this location. So the difference is right here, if you leave it right here, we're going to show the ads to people who are living in this location and people who were recently in this location. So if somebody was traveling, visiting family around here, then the ad is going to be shown to them regardless of where they're actually at, right? So they could be already back in their hometown, but since they recently were in this location, they could be seeing ads. Now, yes, they could potentially buy a house in that area, because if they were visiting that area, that means they probably have family or they like the area and they were traveling there. And this mainly works for people, for example, if you're living in a tourist area where a lot of tourists come in and you want to sell condos that are vacation, vacation homes or things like that, then you can select that. But for the most part, if it's just a normal home, a digital open house or regular open house, then you want to go with people living in this location, because it is more likely that the person that's going to buy that property is going to be someone who lives within the area of that specific property. Okay, so click on people living in this location, make sure you select that, and then you're going to type the address right here. So for example, if I'm marketing this address right here, this home that was listed, this is going to be 13372 Woodland Drive, Tustin. So I'm going to click and type 13372 Woodland Drive. And as you can see, it's showing down here. It's popping up right here. So Facebook automatically detects this address. So now I can add this right here. Now in certain situations, you might be listing a property that is maybe in a brand new development, and maybe Facebook is not picking up the address. So in those scenarios, then you just have to go by the zip code. You just enter the zip code here and just focus on the zip code and within that mile radius of that zip code instead of the actual address. But if the address is showing up like it is right here, you just select that address because it's going to be a lot more accurate. Like, one of the things that Facebook recently changed is that we're no longer able to just target people within that area. So before we could target to people within a mile radius of that area if we wanted to. But in real estate, that's not really a huge issue, because we found that a lot of people that within 15-mile radius are still potential buyers because they live within this area, right? So we'll just leave it at 15. Sometimes I do go up to 20 miles. So if you want to change it, you go higher. Depending on your budget, remember, if you have more budget, more time, then maybe I could change it to 20 miles here. I'll enter 20, or you can scroll right here and then click on enter, and it's going to change. So you see right here on the right hand side, it's telling me the potential reach. So as we change different things right here, it's going to tell us how many people we can potentially reach, how many leads we could potentially get per day. And so it shows you the results. This is just an estimate that Facebook is giving you of what you can get, but based on the budget and based on the things that you're adding right here. So for 20-mile radius, I have a potential reach of 3,300,000 people at this point. So that is way too many, although it is going to come down because I'm going to change different things also. But I'm just going to go down to 15 miles right here. That's going to be enough for me. And I just want to completely optimize my budget, because I'm not doing $25 on this one. I'm doing $10 on this one, right? So I want to make sure I'm spending my $10 on highly likely potential home buyers. So 15 miles is what I'm going to be focusing on. Now you see the reach, the potential reach dropped to 2,400,000 people. So that's a lot better, although that is still way too high. So we're just going to come down. Now that we have the right address, it's going to expose the property to people around that address. And then we can't change this. For the housing, when you clicked on the special ad category and you clicked on housing, it eliminated the option for us to be very specific about who we target. So now we have to show the ad to everybody who's 18 to 65 years old. But I'm going to show you right now with the targeting how we're going to eliminate us showing the ad to an 18-year-old that has absolutely no interest in buying a house. Because if we're showing our ad to, if we just leave it like this, if we show our ads to every 18-year-old out there, as you can see, we have our potential reach to 2.4 million. So there's a lot of 18-year-olds out there that have absolutely no clue about buying a house and could not qualify. They probably don't have a job. They don't have the money to be able to purchase a house. So if we leave it like that, we're going to be wasting a lot of our money in that, within showing ads to that type of people. So we're going to do something right now to make sure that we're not showing ads to 18-year-olds that are not interested at all about buying houses. So the next thing is the gender. So right here you can actually select male or female. But again, since this is a housing ad, and we selected a special ad category, it does not allow us to do that. Before we were able to do that, but through past testing before it actually changed this, when we were allowed to select if we wanted to show to male or female, it didn't make a huge change. It wasn't a big difference of people that were male and female. We did find that women are the most people that actually search for homes, but it wasn't that big of a difference. So I would always leave it to male and female anyway, so that doesn't make a huge difference. Now, where it does make a huge difference, and this is where I'm talking to you about how we're going to be able to show ads only to specific people who are potentially interested in buying a house, is right here. Under detailed targeting, we're going to click on edit, and this is where we're going to show the ads only to people that have shown an interest recently in the past few days about housing, something related to housing, that is going to narrow down and is going to allow us to avoid showing our ads and spending our budget to people who have no clue about buying a house and who have absolutely no interest in buying a house. So right here, you can actually show your ad to different types of interests. So right here, you're going to go down below this video. You're going to download the target audience page where it has the exact targeting of the premium home buyers that I target on every digital open house or regular open house. Okay, so let me go ahead and open that up. So you're gonna go down to the document that I provided where I have all the premium buyer targeting, and right here where it says include, you're gonna highlight everything. You're gonna right click and copy, and then you're gonna go back to the Facebook Ads Manager. You're gonna make sure you're on detailed targeting. You're gonna click on this box which says include people who match, and then you're gonna right click and you're gonna paste all that targeting in there. And now you're telling Facebook that you only want to show your ads to people who live within a 15-mile radius of this address, which is our home listing where we're having our digital open house, and they're 18 years or 18 through 65 years old, so pretty much anybody above 18 years old. It doesn't matter if they're men or women, but this is where we're actually getting very detailed in the targeting. But they must have shown an interest in one of these key terms right here: apartment, condominium, Credit Karma, first-time home buyer, homes.com, loan, luxury real estate, mortgage calculator, mortgage loans, property finder, renting, single-family detached home, or Trulia. So what are these pages? What are these websites? Some of these websites. These are websites that give us a big indication that if somebody has been recently liking these kind of pages on Facebook, or they're going out there on the internet and searching this type of key terms, because Facebook doesn't only track you within Facebook. Facebook actually tracks you everywhere online that you go. So if you go out and look for cars for sale, you're looking to buy a car and you go on cars for sale, Facebook now knows that you are looking for a car for sale. Even though you're not looking for cars for sale within Facebook, you're going out of Facebook, Facebook still tracks you, and Facebook still knows that you're an interested car buyer. So when a car dealership is looking to target for people that want to buy cars, you will be in there because you recently searched for cars outside of Facebook. And if you're looking for cars on their marketplace within Facebook, then even more so, they know that you're interested in buying cars. The same with home buyers, right? So that's how Facebook matches this. Now, with that said, Facebook is not 100% accurate. So even though I'm just telling people to only show ads to this type of people, it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody else is going to exclude it. There could be people that fall through the cracks. I found that there's no marketing method that's 100% accurate, but this is as accurate as it gets. So just keep in mind, there could potentially be people that are showing the ad, but what this allows us to do is to just maximize the likelihood of us showing the ad to the right potential people. So if there's an 18-year-old out there who has no clue about buying a house, doesn't have a job, and maybe still in high school, but they're 18 years old, if they haven't searched anything within these parameters right here, if they're not searching about mortgage calculator, if they're not going to apartments or condominiums, or if they're not going to first-time buyers, then they're not going to see our ads, right? They're not going to see our ads. Now, that means that we're not wasting our money and our budget with 18-year-olds that are still living at home and have no plans whatsoever to move out of their home, right? So that's where we make sure that we're only showing our ads to highly targeted potential home buyers. right? The next thing that we want to do is we want to go back, and we want to go back to our targeting page right here. We want to come here where it says exclude. We're going to copy these targets right here. We're going to right click, highlight, right click, and copy. And then we're going to go back to our ads manager. And right here where it says narrow audience, we're going to click that. Then we're going to enter right here where it says and must also match the box right here. Right click, paste. And now we're saying basically we want to exclude these people. So now, just because they have shown an interest in one of these, I still don't want them to show the ads if they have indicated, or in their profile they've indicated that they're a licensed real estate agent, a mortgage broker, a real estate appraiser, real estate broker, or have a real estate license. Because obviously, if I am trying to sell a house and I'm doing a digital open house, then a real estate agent is not going to be my target, right? It's not going to be my client. Now, there are people who believe that they still want to show their ads to real estate agents and mortgage brokers, because what if they have a potential buyer for their property, right? What if they have a potential buyer? So you could leave that on there. You could remove all of these targets if you want. But the way that I have this campaign structured, once again, is for us to maximize our targeting to people who are highly likely of being home buyers, of being actual potential home buyers. Because at the end of the day, what we want is to expose this property to a buyer that's going to go out there and purchase a property, and hopefully we can represent that buyer as well. If we're an agent, or your client, if your client is an agent, then you want them to represent that home buyer. We want them to generate that lead of home buyers. We don't want to generate leads of real estate agents, right? But if you're an agent, or your agent doesn't mind, they just want as much exposure as possible. When an agent comes and tells me I want as much exposure as possible, then I deselect all of these and I just leave these. You know, it doesn't matter if they're agents or mortgage broker. They could have a potential home buyer. Mortgage broker could have a home buyer that they have approved, but they can't have they can't find a property, or you know, the mortgage broker sees the house. He sees that it's in a price range or within an area that his buyer wants to purchase, and then they could forward it to his buyer. Same thing with a real estate agent. If they see your ad about the house in the digital open house, and they see that it's a potential property that their buyer could be interested in, then they might take their buyer to your open house. So it's more exposure, more likelihood that your home will sell. So it's up to you. You can choose this, you can do this or not. At the very beginning, if you have a very low budget, then I recommend you just, you know, select these and exclude these people, because what you want at the end of the day is to get as many home buyer leads as possible. So I'm just gonna leave it there right here for now. You do not want to narrow further. You can, you know, some targeting options are not available, but I'm just gonna click that. I think everything that's here is available for us to do. You could do more options. You can change languages and all people. So you can change languages and connections. This right here, you don't want to do anything. Right here on languages, I want to make sure, since my ad is in English, I'm going to put English and I leave it at all. So one of the reasons why we do English all is because we want to make sure that who's ever seen our ad is able to understand what our ad is about, right? We don't want to show it to somebody who does not understand English and they don't even know what the ad is about, but they just, out of curiosity, they click on the ad. And they, you know, now we generate a lead from somebody who is not even interested in buying the house, right? Because they don't even know what it was. They just liked the house and clicked on it, right? So we want to make sure that it's on English. That way we know that whoever's clicking on that ad understands what our ad is about, and it's more likely to be a real potential home buyer. Okay, so I'm going to end this video right here. On the next video, which is module number 4, I'm going to talk to you about placement. So placement is going to be where we want that ad shown. We've already indicated that we want this ad, you know, we're creating an ad for Facebook ads, but within Facebook, I've told you before, we can show ads to people that are on Instagram as well. And even within Facebook, we can show ads in different places within Facebook. So depending on the type of creative that you're going to be doing, there's different places on Facebook that you can actually show your ad in. So the same thing with Instagram. But for now, I'm going to leave it here. On the next video, I'll show you exactly where we're going to be advertising within the Facebook platform, okay? Thank you for watching. I will see you on the next training video, module number 4. Take care.